So why am I the one that's telling you all of my problems and all of the issues with me, and you fail to mention something like that? And that's a huge thing, because she is the reason why now you are pressuring me to come out to my mom.
There have been the fans who have come at Stephanie and said, like, you aren't bisexual, they've just come at her hard for that. And I'm wondering what you would say to those people.
I don't think it's fair for them to firstly to say it in the first place to a stranger, and secondly, to even make the judgment in the first place. Of course, like, people could have their doubts or whatever, but like I've mentioned before, like, this is Steph's journey, and it's no one's place to like publicly go for her or whatever. Have a conversation with your friend, have a conversation with your mom, like whatever, but to like go and find someone on social media and like seek them out to be nasty to them, like that just sucks.
What wrongs would you like to write about the experience that you guys had together, if you could?
Honestly, I just kind of wish that there was like a conversation about the parts of my life that were problems. That's honestly just the one main thing, because I felt like I was being punished for things that I had disclosed, and then I was having things thrown at me that I didn't know about. So it was kind of this crazy thing where I was feeling bad for things that I was honest about, and then I was expected to accept things that she hadn't been honest about it.
I have to take this medication with me everywhere I go because this is kind of what keeps me alive. That's concerning. Is there anything else that I should know about that?
I think there were some people who were coming at you for the way that you reacted to her illness a little bit.
That honestly, rewatching the scene with Steph telling me about her illness, that was kind of weird for me, because I didn't feel like, mad about it at all. It was never something that I was like, upset about or anything. It was just surprise, because the severity of it was something that I didn't really know a lot about at the time. So, I was like concentrating really hard because she's telling me, a story, and I guess because, and probably in the scenes kind of before that, I was like happy and like whatever. The contrast from like going from like happy Erika to this like serious, kind of resting face kind of face. People were just like, oh, like she, people were very quick to tell me that I didn't care about it, or like I wasn't accepting of it, and that wasn't the case at all. Like Stephanie she'll confirm that it just was never like that.
You don't want to do anything. You're saying that like meeting new people is hard. You're saying that me planning dates is hard. Literally everything is too much. Like, why did you even come here? Why? Like, why bother, Steph?
How different do you think your relationship might have gone if you guys were not long distance?
I think that at the end of the day, like jealousy issues, whether you're far apart or not, they're gonna come up. If you have insecurities about your partner with a friend, like I'm not gonna be with my partner 24/7, even if they're here. So it's like, there's still gonna be a lack of trust and, a lack of, I don't know what the word is. I don't know. There's still gonna be a lack of trust. Regardless. So I don't know. Maybe it would have taken longer to pan out, but I think inevitably, unless, those jealousy issues was something that were worked on, it still would have probably fallen apart eventually.
Do you feel that Stephanie was justified in her concerns?
With my friends?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, and that's, I guess, because I
kind of knew what your answer would be on that.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess the difference is that I know that there's nothing to worry about, and she has these insecurities and she doesn't know. So, she comes and she meets them, and I thought it would be okay. I'm like, yeah, you can come meet them, everything will be fine, like, don't worry about it. And it went bad really quickly. But at the end of the day, like, the concerns were not concerns that needed to be had at all. I can understand being a bit worried about it, but my friends and I, like every single person at that party, out of everyone there, I had kissed one person there. Like, it wasn't it's not a big deal. So I don't know, there's this like not a language barrier, but like I guess like a cultural difference in the words hooking up.
It
So
felt bigger than that. It felt that Stephanie felt it was bigger than that.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. You know, there was not, I don't know where this kind of like narrative came about me being this like sex demon that like goes and has sex with all of her friends. Like it's not like that at all. Like our friendship group is not like that. Adam was telling me he went to get a haircut the other day, and like the girl that cut his hair was like, "So is it true? Do you and all your friends have sex?" And he was like, "What?" So, you know, that's just like weird, especially small town, like everyone's talking about it and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not like that at all. I know it kind of came across like that, and I know people are going to make up their minds anyway about what they think about that, but my friends, we're not like that, you know.
What would you say for you was the lowest point or the hardest moment?
Definitely, there's probably two parts that were, you know, extremely difficult for me, and they were obviously both huge moments in the show, so it's been kind of hard to hear people's opinions on them. But the party scene, you know, after Steph left, I was just a mess, you know, and I was very embarrassed. You know, I felt like, oh my God, I created all this drama at my party, like my friend's house. Like that was really hard. But of course, then obviously the bread thing with the bowl was also something that I really, really struggled with. I was, you know, once we, you know, shut the cameras off, I was kind of like not in a good place for a little while about that. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's what happened. And yeah, it wasn't good, but those were probably the hardest two parts of everything for me.
Well, what kind of place were you in, and how did you pull yourself out of that?
Well, after the bowl throw, you know, I actually sat in bed for quite some time, and I was just crying. It was not good mentally for me. I wouldn't say that I was like fearing for my life or anything, but you know, it was a very intense moment that really startled me and like kind of like put me into a very negative headspace, which was not great. But you know, I went home, and you guys saw it. You know, I spoke to my mom, and she gave me a hug. And you know, for a couple of weeks after that, I was just like not okay. I started to spend more time with my friends and whatever after that, though, after spending a lot of time in my bed. But you know, I started to realize and get back to the mindset that I was in before the show, and realized that I needed to just get back into the groove of things and love myself. And yeah, I went to Thailand, I volunteered, and that was cool. So yeah, I just tried to spend time doing things for myself.
Do you think there's anything that could have gone better? Like if you could go back and have it go better for both sides so that it could maybe be in a more amicable place, is there anything you would change?
I mean, obviously the breakup was very intense, and it didn't start off that intense, and then it kind of spiraled very, very quickly. I think I don't know, maybe if I had the opportunity to explain what I was trying to get across, it would have been a little different maybe. I know that Steph, you see in the scene, she says that I'm pressuring her, and like that was not my intention at all. I was just trying to open up about an experience that was concerning for me and at the time, and I was scared of it, so I was trying to be vulnerable. And I feel like maybe if I had approached that differently, maybe we wouldn't have had that fight, and we would still maybe be working on things. But at the end of the day, I think that the jealousy stuff was our main issue, honestly. You see instantly who is she, what is her name, why do I not know about this? It wasn't about pressuring to come out. It was you have all these friends, it wasn't anything to do with me trying to get her to come out.
If you had one word to describe it all, what word would you choose?
A roller coaster.
What's your current relationship status?
I'm single. I'm just like doing me. I'm just waiting for the borders to open so I can go back to Thailand.